So like every other Black person, I saw Sinners this past weekend and I loved it, 10 out of 10. But I just wanted to give some of my thoughts on the spiritual commentary as a third generation African-American, Afro-Caribbean, Black Muslim, as well as an Africana Studies major who specifically loves to study like Black spirituality and theology. Y'all remember when Delta Slim said that music is what we brought over with us from Africa, unlike the religion that was pushed onto us, talking about Christianity? Islam also came with us from the motherland. Anywhere from 30 to 40% of the enslaved Africans that were brought to the Americas, and that's including the Caribbean and Latino America, were Muslim. To this day, Africa is the only Muslim majority continent on the planet. Actually, prior to colonization and the slave trade, Islam and Blackness were pretty much indistinguishable from each other. The church, in the midst of colonizing, grouped it together along with traditional African spiritual practices. I do feel like Ryan Coogler was intentional about making Black people question the beliefs that were carried on through the adopting of Christianity by enslaved people, about ourselves, about religion, about spirituality, about music. But too often when people in the West talk about religion, they really just mean Christianity. Christianity is not Islam. A lot of the negative similarities that people feel like they see between Christianity and Islam are really because of the way that Islam has been practiced for the past maybe 100, 150 years, which is largely impacted by colonization. Just look at Muslim or Black or Arab countries around the world and you can see the impact of colonialism. It would make no sense to think that colonization could be as powerful as it was and not have any impact into how we interpret Islam. Music was, of course, a big part of Sinners, and I'm someone who has always said that music is a part of my spiritual practice, also a part of my cultural practices as a Black Muslim woman. Something that people may not know is that Islam also had an impact on blues music. If you listen to early blues music, specifically coming out of Jim Crow era, you can hear the West African Muslim influence, specifically from the call to prayer. Quranic recitation is melodious on purpose, and depending on what part of the world it is recited, it follows the rules and the structure of the music scales of those people. What do you think happened when the tonality and the melody and the accent were met with the instruments that were here in America? So if you think that Islam is just an Arab religion, that's colonization working. Remember the scene where Rennick, whatever that right Irish man name is, when they was in the water and Sammy start praying and he started repeating a prayer to him? A lot of people were like, yeah, because religion that they gave us, these prayers are not going to save us. Girl, maybe he was reciting the wrong prayer. I don't know. And because I know somebody's going to mention it, I'm going to mention it. No, Black people did not en masse convert to Islam by force. Islam spread in West Africa by West Africans. Moral story, go see Sinners and watch it with a new perspective. And pick up a Quran, girl. I don't know.